Judy Brown. I'm Judy Porter now. This is my itchy moose here, Stony.
Stony Porter.
Stony
Born
Porter.
and raised here in Winnipegosis.
Yeah. Same here.
And
then we vacated.
Migrated north to Thompson.
Vacated north to Thompson and stayed there till we came back.
Left in the early 70s.
Yeah, very early 70s. We have 2 children. A girl and a boy. One is 49 and 45 they are. And 2 granddaughters, granddaughters, and 1 grandson and 1 great-granddaughter. I enjoyed my life when I was a kid. It was hard, but I enjoyed hauling the wood and the snow and the water and the slop pails out and the dirt pail out and everything else, and hang clothes in the winter, haul them back in. I didn't see the purpose of that because they were frozen. They still had to thaw and dry in the house on those hangers. Yeah, and we didn't get running water till I think I was about 10 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around 12, I think. So.
Yeah, and that was mid-60s?
Yeah.
Mid-60s there.
62, 63.
Yeah.
Something like that. All the outhouse, pails inside, all the water in. Bath day on Sundays. 2 of us would sit in that round tub that's only half the size of this table.
Yeah, and snow in the winter.
As time went along, before the running water came, now we got a better tub, which was probably as long as a long tub. Hey, you could have 3 of you in there and splishing and splashing, and in the kitchen where it was nice and warm, around the wood stove, because we had the old wood stove still.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have electric stove then yet.
Yeah.
You could always go to the reservoir on the old cook stove and get hot water. And I don't know how I never ever cooked in it. After when I started making pies and baking, it was always in the modern oven, not the wood stove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where Grandma Brown did all of hers in there all the time. That was nice. I don't know how they ever managed, because they never had running water ever. Ever. Didn't have it. Yeah, but I really enjoyed going to my Grandma Brown's and my Grandma Marion, who just lived down a couple of houses away, because you always got goodies. And you got a nickel or a quarter. No, a quarter was lots. Nickel or a dime to go uptown and get their things they needed, bread or milk. A few items, for the old people. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It wasn't hard. I don't remember it being hard. The only thing that was hard all the time, we'd have to be in the garden all bloody summer. And I really like going to Grandma and Grandpa's Sugar Shack out there at Red Deer Point.
Oh, okay.
In the springtime.
Yeah.
Go across on the snow machine at Fuller's Bay, and then Grandpa would come over and pick us kids up, whoever, and Dad come back and get the rest of the crew and take them across again.
Yeah.
But it was nice, you'd have duck soup and bannock out there, and Grandma had her tripod up because she was making maple syrup.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And boiling it up and everything, because they'd go out there to tap trees all the time, and trap muskrats and anything else. I went to a little schoolhouse over there where the ambulance is, or the fire truck is, right next to
It's grade 1 and 2 there.
Village office. There's grade 1 and 2 in there we went to. I went to grade 1 there and grade 2 in that elementary, and the one that's here now.
Built the school that's there now.
We all went to that elementary school and then to the high school. But I didn't graduate. After we got married and moved to Thompson, and then from Thompson, we were there for, I don't know, 6. Let's see, Jeanette was in grade 4 and Thor was in kindergarten. We went to Norway House for a year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And lived there.
Yeah.
I liked it there, really nice. And I took my GED there. They were offering it, so I took it there and got my 10, 11, 12 there. Then a year later, we moved back to Thompson again.
Yeah, back to Thompson.
And stayed there till we come out here. But every summer we came here, and all the time, didn't want to go home.
All those things, what was your favorite thing to take part in? Was it the muskrat trapping or the tree tapping? Or
everything. I just loved it all. Even going from Grandma and Grandpa Marion's in Salt Point up the big river there. I'd take off and I'd go to see the sheep because I liked the lambs and everything. Well, I got into the sheep pen, and back then the sheep weren't as tame as like they are now. I think it was either the ram or the missus were getting ready to like run me over or something because someone noticed I was in the sheep pen and came and rescued me out of there. Good thing, I guess. But I like that. And then we'd go to Grandma Brown's and stay there, I think, for the winter sometimes. Not in the summer.
Yeah.
In the winter though, because they'd winter fish out of there. Stay out there, and I like that. I was just like in the carriage. I've got pictures where they push me out in the carriage out in the lake there. Yeah. And I had a dog. He'd come with me in there, and I guess Mom would go for water or whatever, because Mom would stay home and cook and clean, take care of me, and Dad and Grandpa would go trapping or fishing, and Grandma would go trapping. She'd go around the point. She's trapping weasels and everything around there. And they had horses in the back, and barn or lean-to made of mud and weeds and everything, or grass and all that. It was nice. I wouldn't mind to go back there, just for a trip. I know you can't, because we used to come across on the horse and caboose, and then I remember we'd go riding in an old Model T to come to town after. Yeah. It was nice. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
What were some of the things back in the day people did for work around here?
They fished. Mm-hmm. The lumber mill.
Fishing, sawmill.
Yeah. Hauling the logs up from up north.
Okay.
Bringing the booms down here for the mill. There was lots of those in the river. And now everything's just like dead. But it was very busy back then.
Yeah, like bringing log booms or rafts of lumber already cut up.
Mainly the fishing and trapping.
Fishing and trapping.
Yeah, like there was Hydro came in from out of town, MTS came in from out of town, Postmaster came in usually from out of town, but we had Jack Turner, he was lucky he got that. Okay. But after that they came in till Myrtle got her job here at the post office. Lots worked in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Because the hospital was here cleaning and nursing and everything. Yeah. That's where my mom worked. And my dad worked at conservation, but he didn't start out there. He started out from scratch, taking upgrading and then being a fire ranger and slowly working his way into it. Yeah. Like that. My mom passed away when she was 45. I was 20. Just after, in 73, she passed away. And then my dad passed away in 98. And all the grandparents went after, just like bang, bang, bang. I had a great-grandma, Samantha. She lived to be 95.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then Auntie Margaret, she lived to be 98. Yeah. That's on the Samantha side of the family, Marion side there. So I don't know. We'll see how life carries on here.
What were some of the challenges for Métis people in the area?
Oh, hard to get jobs because of who they were a lot of time, most of the time. Mainly only the indigenous places would hire the indigenous people. And otherwise they might have the odd, white person working for them. Yeah. But mostly they'd try and hire within their own people, which was good. So at first when I got there, I didn't work because I had Thor in 76, and then a year later, I had to go to work. We couldn't survive on one wage, so I went to work for highways in the summer, flagging. I think I was the first flag girl out there or whatever, and then another girl joined. There was a girl there already, but they never had flag girls before till that summer. Oh, it was always guys. Yeah. And because you can get the guy to do this, and you get him to do that, blah, blah. Okay, so now they got the girls flagging. That was fine. They taught me how to drive the Packer. Okay. I drove the Packer too. And we started in June, I remember. And in June, going down the road at Paint Lake, I had Stoney's down-filled ski jacket on, all bundled up, and it was snowing, and I'm driving the Packer. Holy, I said.
What was hammered home by your elders and your family?
Respect your elders, help them out all the time when they want you to do stuff for them. But you didn't go around saying you were Métis. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
No.
And
The grandparents didn't talk in their language either, because they didn't want you to know it, because then I always asked mom and dad, or grandma and mom, I want to go to the school in Camperville. I want to go to the residential school, because we'd go and play hockey there.
okay, yeah.
And the sisters are nice to you, and the sisters were nice to us here. I like, they weren't nasty or anything to us. So I wanted to go over there, and mom and grandma would just say, no, you can't go. It's not for you. Well, what do you mean it's not for me? Why can't I go there? They're going there.
Yeah.
But nobody ever explained or anything or nothing like that. Now we know today everything. The sisters here in town were good to us all the time. And they always made sure you went to church. I had to go to church all the time. All of us did at first, and then mom got sick, and then it was always Greg and I who went. My brother and I. But mostly me. I was probably bad in that, so I had to go all the time. I don't know. I was the oldest, though. Oh, a lot of them didn't like I'll just say Indian people.
Yeah.
Back then they would have said Indian, or called you a half-breed. Or of all my cousins, like Jack's not dark, but I'm darker than him. And neither his brothers aren't, or like Linda Fleming's not, and my cousin Dan is, so Dan Brown, he's pretty well
Is
black. I was just like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
They're teasing me and calling me names.
Yeah.
Now the kids at the school would bother Jeanette, be jealous, or call her Whitey, but she wasn't a Whitey, she was Matey. And then later on in years, those girls were like, they'd talk to her because she'd see them in a work environment where they were either working in a bank somewheres, or she was working in the court office somewheres, or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Or at the Northwest Company, then they realized that she's not what they thought, I guess.
How did times change in general for the Métis people in your eyes?
It's changed quite a bit better, like to the very good. Well, there's a lot more educated Métis. More of them go to school and go on to take different programs, or go to university, or nursing, or whatever. Everything's open to them now. Where back then, I don't think a lot of them knew it was open to them all. When they were a lesser people. Now they're a better people.
Too much discrimination earlier. Now it's not so bad. It's getting a little... The youth are getting smarter now, because the parents are getting smarter, and everybody's getting a little...
And a lot of them have their own believe in what they want to be and care and go for it. Not to think about it, but they put it into action, and they go in to be somebody and do something with their life.
Yeah.
Which is good for them. Back in Thompson
The
now.
educational programs that are out there now, available for the young there now.
I don't know who okayed them back then to go to school in the 70s, or when they just had a small little office. But our son went to driving school in the city for the 6 or 8 weeks that they put him through, and he was just fortunate to get in. Back then there was like, will I get in or won't I get in? And now this costs X amount of dollars. Yeah, there's lots of things that are available for them now, even the ones, for upgrading, and they get help, say if they have children to look after.
The young have more awareness now. They know what's out there now. There's stuff there, people are there to help you now.
And if they know where to find their help, or come to places like our youth center and pick up information, and maybe he can put you in contact with people. Even when Jeanette went to school, we hadn't applied to it.
Prejudice there. Even 20 years ago, Native or Indian, they'd be yelling at you. But that's changed quite a bit now. That goes right back to respecting yourself, basically.
Yeah.
You don't respect others, you don't respect yourself. I went to school in Edmonton for a while, but they asked me, what reserve are you from?
Oh.
I'm not from a reserve, I'm from one of the closest. Oh, you talk like a native, they said. Oh, well, there's lots around.
Yeah. Is it different from your younger years, being Métis, and why do you think that is?
And more education.
More education and
More educating the white people, basically. There's been lots of that too.
educate everyone now.
Yeah, like, well, even educating the Métis people.
Mm-hmm.
But educating these Dauphinites a little bit there.
Some of them,
That's
yeah.
just ongoing.
It's been like that
That's
forever.
as far as I know.
And they're right there.
And who knows how long it'll last. Hopefully it's gone tomorrow.
What do you see as some of the challenges today that Métis people face?
To be known or get the respect that other people get from them. The way the people in Dauphin would respect one another or whatever. That's the way we should be too, or they should be to us. We are to them.
Being equal, being respected and stuff is the biggest.
I don't have any problems. Nobody's, you're Métis, you can't come in here or something like that or anything. I'm proud to be Métis. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't like it, too bad.
Is there lots of wildlife here?
Bears didn't come around town
No.
like that, or the jumpers like they do now. You wouldn't see any red foxes, anything like that.
Didn't
The
see
odd
any
skunk
deer.
you'd see around.
There's lots of deer around town now.
Mm-hmm.
But all us old people are feeding them, that's why.
Have to
Because
be the
before
poor
you'd never
things.
see
Yeah.
deer around town.
Well, it's been a rough winter for them, that's for
They've
sure.
got a trail going through the bush and it's deep,
Yeah.
And then back then too, when we were younger, that's mainly our staple of food. There wouldn't have been too many deer around.
Mm-hmm.
Ones that were around would have been sniped up right away.
Mm-hmm. We used to have muskrat all the time every spring. I miss that. And suckerheads.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can still have suckerheads, but I haven't had them in a long time either.
That wasn't that long ago. That was only a few years ago. The muskrats were going for $20 a muskrat.
Because back then, the old people had fur coats.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Muskrat coats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my grandma Marion had one, and my Aunt Maria Rose had one, and my mom just had the one with the fur collar like this, and then that Milton wool jacket like that. And those were nice fur coats they had. Some were put together. You thought they were put together. They were down in stripes, like they were sewn. Aunt Maria Rose had one of those, and Grandma Marion's was all soft, a nice soft, and she had a lighter collar on it, but all fur, very nice. I don't know what she paid for it. I wish I would have asked my aunt that before she passed away. She may have known. Back then, I'm sure a lot. Everything is much better now than it was a long time ago, I tell you. That's for sure. Better direction in our federation, Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'd hate to see it if somebody else took over and they rolled it into the ground or something like that. You might not have as much programs to have access to, etc., etc.
Do you have any words of wisdom for our Métis youth today?
Like I said earlier, believe in themselves. Something that they want to do, to go out and get it, that they can do it, that there is help for them to ask. Just come to the center here, go to the region office, and someone can direct you what to do and how to go about it. You could be in school or doing what you want in a year or two, or who knows.
Pursue your dreams.
Yeah, go for it.
hard.
Good
Don't
thing.
forget, hard work pays off.
Yeah, hard work
That's all
won't
it
hurt
is.
anybody. No. You might have to slow down to do it, but it still won't hurt anybody. You'll feel better for it, and
Yeah.
you'll feel great. Hey, look what I did today.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do tomorrow.
Hard work never killed anyone. No, lack of work killed lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, lack of work killed lots. You got that right.
Yeah.